Keir Starmer's allies warn rivals amid fears of a leadership challenge. Downing Street has launched a major effort to protect Prime Minister Keir Starmer as his closest allies grow worried he could face a leadership challenge following the fallout from the budget. Top aides to Starmer warned that trying to remove him because of falling poll numbers would be a reckless and dangerous move that could unsettle the economy, damage the Labour Party, and harm international relations. They made it clear that Starmer would not step down quietly and would fight to keep his job if challenged, whether that happens soon after the budget or later, possibly after losses in the May local elections. Tensions rose after reports from Number 10 suggested growing fears among MPs that Health Secretary Wes Streeting might be plotting a coup against Starmer, a claim that Streeting strongly denied. According to senior insiders, some in Downing Street were told that Streeting could have as many as 50 frontbenchers ready to resign if the budget went badly and Starmer refused to step aside. Cabinet members said Streeting is just one of several Labour figures preparing for a future leadership race if Starmer's position weakens. Others include Angela Rayner, Shabana Mahmood, and even Ed Miliband. Still, none of them are expected to make a move right now. One insider described the situation as a Stop West campaign, an attempt by Downing Street to warn off anyone thinking about a leadership bid. Number 10 has gone into bunker mode, one source said. They're turning on loyal ministers for no reason. It's chaos. The warnings are also meant for nervous Labour MPs who are increasingly uneasy about breaking tax promises, the risk of a poor result in May, and doubts over whether Starmer can deliver real change or win another term in power. Several of Starmer's allies told The Guardian that removing him now would be a reckless mistake. One said, Keir isn't stepping aside for Wes or anyone else. Another added, he's determined to fight for the country, no matter how tough things get. Senior Labour sources warned that a leadership challenge just 18 months into government could have huge consequences. Shaking investor confidence and angering the public, it would be seen as totally irresponsible, one said. The party might not recover for years. Another Downing Street insider admitted that some MPs were panicking about poor polling and thinking about drastic action, but that would only make things worse. Until we show real change, people won't feel positive about the government. They added that there's no path to a second term without facing Nigel Farage's growing influence and proving Labour can deliver. Ousting Keir now would be reckless and very destabilizing. A third source said Keir may not fully realize how serious the situation is. It's shocking that MPs think removing him will fix anything. The public will just see us as no better than the Conservatives. Cabinet ministers believe Number 10's comments were meant as a warning to ambitious Labour politicians not to act against Starmer. Wes is clearly positioning himself for the future, but he's not trying to topple Keir right now. Still, the polls are bad and we're scared reform could take over. They added, switching leaders now wouldn't change much. It'd just add more chaos. Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham and former Deputy Leader Angela Rayner are also rumored to be watching closely, with Rayner possibly eyeing a kingmaker role instead of running herself. There's nothing organized yet, one MP said, but everyone expects movement if May's elections go badly. Number 10 is panicking because they're out of touch and surrounded by inexperienced advisors. A spokesperson for Streeting said the coup claims were completely false, insisting his focus is on cutting NHS waiting lists, hiring more doctors, and rebuilding the health service. Streeting, who nearly lost his seat to a pro-Gaza independent, has recently criticized some of Starmer's policies, including those on welfare, digital ID, and Gaza. Once seen as being on Labour's right, he's shifted towards the center and hasn't been afraid to challenge the Prime Minister's decisions. Despite the growing tension inside the Labour Party, Downing Street is trying to project confidence that Keir Starmer's leadership remains stable and that he still has strong support from most of his cabinet. One senior government insider said that while some MPs are nervous, the majority understand that replacing the Prime Minister so soon after taking office would be disastrous. We've been in government for less than 2 years. People expect us to deliver results, not fall into infighting like the Tories did. Changing leaders now would make us look weak and divided. Still, behind the scenes, frustration is mounting. Labour MPs say they are struggling to defend the government's decisions on taxes and welfare reforms to voters who expected real change. Many are worried that Keir's cautious approach has failed to connect with working-class supporters, and the party's poll numbers could keep sliding if the budget doesn't improve public confidence. One backbencher said, "There's a sense that Keir's message isn't cutting through. People wanted bold leadership. Instead, we're stuck in a conversation about loyalty tests and internal politics. That's not what voters care about." The upcoming May local elections are now seen as a key test for Starmer's future. Poor results could intensify pressure on him to prove that his vision for Labour is still credible. Senior party officials privately admit that major losses in local councils could reignite talk of a leadership race, even if no one moves immediately to challenge him. Meanwhile, Labour's opponents have seized on the party's internal drama. Conservative MPs have accused Starmer of losing control of his government, while Reform UK leader Nigel Farage has mocked the situation, claiming that Labour has already turned into the same broken machine that it once criticized. Political analysts warn that the crisis could damage Labour's image as the party of stability, a brand Starmer worked hard to build after years of chaos in British politics. Starmer's pitch was always about competence and control. If the public starts seeing him as weak or embattled, that entire message collapses. Some within the party believe that Starmer could still turn things around if he reshuffles his cabinet, strengthens his economic message, and connects more directly with the public. He needs to remind people why they voted for him in the first place, one senior advisor said. If he can deliver results on housing, the NHS, and wages before the next election, all of this talk will disappear. Others, however, argue that the discontent runs deeper. It's not just about polls or personalities, it's about direction. People don't know what Starmer's Labour really stands for anymore. For now, Downing Street is doing everything possible to shut down speculation and prevent further leaks. Officials have reportedly told ministers and aides to avoid discussing internal matters with journalists and to focus on promoting the government's achievements instead. Yet, even as they try to contain the unrest, few deny that Starmer faces one of the toughest moments of his premiership. With economic challenges mounting, international tensions rising, and the public mood shifting, the next few months could decide not only his leadership, but the future of the Labour government.